Well, we're on our way home now. Ollie and I and Ava. It's warm, 14 degrees now. It feels so nice out. I'm way overdressed. It was cold this morning, and it's going to be cold for the next few days. Actually, a chance of snow and rain on Saturday, +3. Not a very good few days coming up. So today is Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, Ava, isn't it?
No, it's Tuesday.
No, I think you're wrong. No, it's definitely Wednesday.
No, it's not.
Whatever. That's what it's come to, right? In all of our lives, we don't even know what damn day it is today. I think you might be right. Maybe it is Tuesday. I don't know. Anyway, we wanted to. We got a gate for the back of the truck, so like a starting gate. So we put 3 horses on the gate at a time. We had 11 sets of 3 today. We're gonna go with the other 10 sets or whatnot tomorrow. But man, oh man, what a good day. We had Let's Roll On, put a little skip coming out of the gate, but he's got the belly band. Rolly, yeah. The belly band hobbles on now. But he was absolutely fantastic after. Well and Down got a little rolly, much better down by the wire. She actually was going by Desperado and get out of gear, and Desperado won the last set. Mario went with Desperado today. I had Mama Knows Best in that set. So we had 11 sets. James and I and Mario went with all of them. The first set of all the horses, I thought today I'm looking up and down the list, okay, who's going to be, you really think, right? They've never seen the gate before. We're putting them right up on the gate. And some horses are going to jump around and act up. And there's always that issue, especially fresh after Saturday, of somebody getting dumped out or something. These are big animals that you're putting them close to a stationary gate. Well, it's moving, but a mobile gate. But nevertheless, it can be quite an ordeal for some horses. It's not like Mohawk where there's a tote board and flags and a grandstand. But nevertheless, it is a truck with a big hunk of metal on the back of it. You're asking these horses to put their heads right up on top of. So I really just expected some to act up. No real bad actors. Even when Let's Roll On get out of gear, it was more or less when the gate picked up speed. He went to go forward and he kind of get out of gear and jostled and just rolled off for a second. James said,
his name's Rolly.
yeah, it could be. And then Well and Down, all the other horses were perfect on the gate. 0 incidents today. Really uplifting. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. Our horses always seem to act professional, and I truly believe it's because we teach them how to do things right from day one. We don't expect them to do things wrong. We correct it when they do things wrong. And I think that goes a long way. No bad actors today. It was a great day. So in the first set, of all the horses I thought were going to act up, I thought Argento would be one, right? He shied away from Mario's whip the other day and made a break. He's been a bit of a goofball at times. Would he go up to the gate? This horse put his head, boom, right on the gate. Never acted up. Trotted out of there. I led. Then one of the other horses went around. Then Barbie's Crown cleared to the front. I came first over, and he airmailed them down the lane. Just trotted away from them.
How many sets did you win?
I don't know. We'll get to that in a second.
Why don't you have the drone?
Because we can't have the drone every day. That's feasibly impossible. But thank you. That sounds good. She's a liberal.
What the heck's a liberal?
So Argento was a winner in the first set. Now we went 1.5 miles. We tried to go slow first half, an equally, not quite equally. Ollie, I see you. Why do you need to do that? An equally slow second half. So we were looking to get over to the mile marker in 35-ish, and then we let them dance a little bit. A lot of the sets came the last half in 106, 107, with last quarters in 32 seconds. We were rolling the last little bit, and some horses really looked impressive. Now, I did talk about all the sets today. I'm going to talk about them quick, but there were some horses that looked exceptional today. Some horses that haven't been great, other horses that were coming back off maybe a couple of bad trips, maybe a horse coming off a bad trip. Argento has had a bad life for the most part. He's been up and down and in and out, and he's never really put together any consistent miles. But today was a good foundation start for him. I was happy with what I saw from him today, and he's getting it. Was he perfect? No. A couple of times he did put steps in, but he didn't make a break. And that would have been his go-to move in the past, right? Put a step in, make a break. Put a step in, make a break. But we've been putting so much work into him. I think he's figured out that it's much easier to do your work and at least attempt to do it right than it is to go out and try and do it wrong. That leads to more work. So Argento, I was very happy with him in set number 1. I suspect his last half was in 107 and a bit, with the last quarter in 33 seconds. I was really happy with him, considering how far this horse has come in 2 weeks. Yes, I was happy with him. Second set, I had First Glance. We had been working with him. He broke a hobble the other day. He was throwing his head. He didn't throw his head at all today. He was still a little bully, but did not throw his head. I collared him halfway down the lane. I collared Blue Monk halfway down the lane, and Blue Monk was iron tough. Mario put him in gear, and he come back on and beat me. And it's not that First Glance led him. It had nothing to do with attitude. We were just going at top speed, going under the wire, into the turn, through the turn. It was a really, really good set, top to bottom, and Blue Monk was fantastic. Very happy with First Glance. Still a lot of work to do with him. He's still quite a bit, he's still quite rough around the edges when it comes to behaving, but you can put him on. I had him right on Mario's back, literally, for most of the 3 laps. And then when I asked him to pace, he paced as hard as he could lay his legs to the ground the whole way down the lane. It's just, Blue Monk's a big monster, and once Mario got him rolling, he just come back on and beat me. But First Glance looked good today. Third set was, I was so happy. Eternity Road was making his first training set since having those splints crowd and that hind ankle injected. Didn't really know how he'd be. James said, when you go to move him, he wants to go 100 miles an hour right away. He said, so James moved him to the front. He controlled it. I sat in behind him with GW Chrome. Lincoln Hanover sat behind me. We came to the just about, again, mile marker in about 33, 34. And we ended up coming in the last half in 106, last quarter in 31 in a piece. We were moving. And GW Chrome's usually a sprinter. We made some changes on GW Chrome. It looked like he was working a little bit differently. I'm hesitant to say harder. He wasn't working harder. He's working differently. So 2 things. 1, I believe the shoeing change helped. 2, I believe it changed his gait a little bit. And when he came in, this sounds a little odd maybe to people that don't train horses, or maybe to some people that do, but you could see him sweating in different places. He seemed like he worked a little harder. Usually work is flawless for this guy. You know, work is no big deal at all. Now, you're dealing with Eternity Road, who's a big, strong animal. And, man, when he puts it in gear, he's just so nice to watch. Like, I have a ton of respect for GW Chrome, but, you know, head-to-head, one-on-one, both horses at their best, and flawless. It's just really hard to imagine. I don't know if we've ever had a more beautiful, powerful animal than Eternity Road in the past. And we've had some pretty good horses. You know, the stable's relatively young. You know, we built the stable what I would consider the right way. We didn't dump a pile of money into it. We put, you know, a conservative and comfortable amount of money into the buying of these horses every year. And if we had good ones, great. And if we didn't, it wasn't the end of the world. But we did end up with some good horses. Lawmaker ended up being sold overseas, and both him and White Tiger were great. White Tiger set a world record at 2. Yeah, he set a world record at 2. Equaled a world record at 2. Lawmaker, both him and Lawmaker both could beat less than a quarter of a length in the Pennsylvania final the years they were in it. Cruising in Style did good things. I mean, we've had Globetrotting last year.
How did you get to a Racing Gate to last year?
Say that again, honey?
How'd you get to a Racing Gate to last year?
What do you mean Racing Gate last
You
year?
were talking about a Racing Gate that we just got with the truck.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about last year.
But we're talking about horses. We're talking about overall talent. We're not talking about the gate at all anymore. But thanks for following along. Really appreciate it. So, I mean, we've had some, what I would consider, just as a normal, everyday guy, some really good horses. And I don't believe I've ever seen a horse as totally gifted at this time of the year, in May, as Eternity Road. Now, Lawmaker, you could tell, was going to trot all day. There was no breaks from him. You know, the only time he made a break was in the Meadowlands and Hambo Day, and he was sore. You know, I don't think we've ever had a horse as talented, as raw talented as Eternity Road. Maybe I don't go with Eternity Road, so it's not like I'm biased towards him. I don't go with this horse ever. This is James's baby, and I don't get to go with him, but man, oh man, he is one impressive looking animal to watch. I followed him at GW Chrome, and I didn't think I could pass him. One, I wanted to make sure Eternity Road didn't make a breakdown by the wire, because he had. Then going into the turn after the wire, how's he going to handle that? Did both of them great. And I thought that I could at least make it interesting with GW Chrome, and a horse that really, really surprised me with Lincoln Hanover. I don't know why he surprised me. He was on the top of the top 10 list 2 weeks ago, did good things last week. Mario came first over, and he was coming, and I ended up third, right? Out of the three of them, we were right there. James won by 3/4 of a length. Lincoln Hanover was second. I was right beside Lincoln Hanover. We were flying down the lane. I'm not even sure James started this colt up. He is an impressive animal to watch, that's for sure. So Eternity Road, I was so happy, and this is a horse, and I don't talk that much about horses that we still have shares in, or I do, but I've never had any shares in Eternity Road. You guys bought them all almost immediately, I think, and for the people out there that own them, I wish you all the luck in the world. But man, oh man, he is one good looker to watch, and we have some really good looking horses. But I think I love GW Chrome. I think he's going to be handy.
He's pretty.
He's beautiful gaited. He's smart. I think he's just going to be.
Pretty blade.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think he's just going to be a beautiful horse and a really fun horse to race this summer if we can get to racing. But Eternity Road, just wow, he is a really nice horse to watch. I don't know if I've said this, but Eternity Road's a nice horse to watch. Gushing over a horse I don't own any of. And then the fourth set come out now. Off-Road Hanover, I've said to you guys 3 or 4 weeks ago when I went with him, before we gelded him, and the day I went with him, I said, we're gelding this horse because of his attitude. We gelded him, and he come back, and he got some good...
How do you geld them because of their attitude?
They just get really ignorant attitudes sometimes.
Why?
I don't know. So Off-Road Hanover, we had him castrated, brought him back. He had some good miles, but he was okay. I went with him today. We come out of the last turn, and I was on the front. Fox Valley Britska, who has been unbelievable the last, aside from maybe the odd break, the last 6-7 weeks, he's been absolutely lights out great. And he was right behind me, and Beef and Cheddar was on the outside coming to me. And I really just thought I was going to be third. I crossed the lines over, and I hit him a smack coming out of the turn, and he was flying down the lane as fast as you could get a 2-year-old trotter to go over that track down the lane, in a short, like he went from maybe kind of throttling back and gonna have a little play date to, hold on one sec, to absolutely flying. I believe I hung on, but in fairness, Mario might have got me with Beef and Cheddar. Beef and Cheddar looked really, really good today. Bought him some new hobbles, as I said I would. Him and Fox Valley Britska, or him and First Glance both got new hobbles on Monday, and Beefy certainly liked his hobbles today. He was awesome, and Fox Valley Britska was flying up the inside. We were smoking. Might have been the fastest last eighth of the day was that eighth, and I believe I hung on with Off-Road. Mario might have got me, but all three of those horses were going as fast as they could lay their legs down the lane, and it was a very, very good set. Next set, I had Stacy Hanover in there, but she was in tough. She was in with Walk on the Moon, who was coming off a very impressive. I know, it's beautiful. A very impressive mile, and I'm a Lovely Lady, who we've talked about, mostly just behind Eternity Road, right? And her and Frilly Fringes won My Heart Hanover. They're all kind of taking up shop in that top 5 spot. And I'm a Lovely Lady sat in behind Mario with Walk on the Moon. It's a good question. They have one time. It's a little too slippery for standardbreds and a little too bumpy on the starting gate. But they have. And they do in Ireland, they do. In other places, they do. Walk on the Moon controlled the mile and just looked great. Stacy Hanover's on the far outside. She did what she could. She finished up her mile great. Probably last Saturday was what I said the best mile of her life, and I think that was even trumped by today. The best mile of her life. Can't even say that word anymore. But this day was just a little bit better. Thought she was even better today, but she was no match for Walk on the Moon on the front end or I'm a Lovely Lady in the middle. Both of those horses can flat out fly and both look great. Mario is still adamant this is the best colt we had. I said, listen, I love Walk on the Moon. He's got some work to do before we start talking about him ahead of Eternity Road and a couple of the other horses. Shh, don't move. So Walk on the Moon was awesome today. Am I gonna vote him best horse in the barn? No, not yet. But Mario still believes he is, and man, oh man, I'll tell you what. Aside from everything else, he is an extremely good-looking horse, and looked great again today. Frilly Fringes, a bit of a manhandling in the next set. Put her on the front. I told you guys, good horses and competitive horses, they know what to do. And I said she seemed a little angry after she got beat on the weekend by I'm in Love the Lady first over, and I put her on the front end, and Iglaria M was sitting in behind me, no joke. I think Momo was in there also, first over, and I called on her to the lane. She didn't wait today. She was gone. She trotted as hard as she could down the lane, and I could tell she dropped her ass the whole way down the lane. She was trotting so fast, and Iglaria M actually made a little break at the wire, which we haven't seen in well over a month. Made a little break at the wire trying to catch me, but there was no catching Frilly Fringes today. She wasn't playing around. She came to play and looked absolutely awesome. Now, a horse that really surprised me was in the next set, Italian Grit. He was good last week. He was flying on the end of it on the far outside. Week before, I believe he won the set. I put him on the front. Then both horses came around me. I moved him again as we were going into the mile marker, back to the front, and he buggy rode the whole way down the lane. Last half in 106 and a piece, last quarter in 32 seconds. And Italian Grit was wrapped up. And I don't know if Mark Adams is going to see this video. I'll talk to him tonight. Italian Grit was infinitely better than he'd ever been, and much, much better than I thought he would have been today. The amount of improvement this horse has shown over just weeks is incredible, and Italian Grit was very, very good today training. A horse that we haven't talked much about in the last few weeks come back today and look great. Roy Hill, James said, was a little grabby at the start. He wasn't making a noise, but you can hear him in behind me. He needs to learn to relax in the mile. But James wheeled him out in the 3-wide path down the lane, and he inhaled both Mario and I forget who he had, but decent horse in there. It was a good set. But Roy Hill looked like a man amongst boys in there. James moved him over, and I've told you this a million times before. It's hard to outpace or out-trot horses that are going all they can from the head of the lane to the wire at Tamiko. It's a short stretch. It's a tight turn, and for you to gather, just hold on.
I don't think you started the video.
Yeah, I did, buddy. And for you to gather speed in that short period of time, you really just have to be outworking, outpacing, out-trotting the horses that are in front of you in a big way. And James moved Roy Hill out in the middle of the track, and I was watching him, and he just inhaled both of us. He looked very, very good.
And there was a fox on the track.
There was a fox on the track today. I saw him, yeah.
He was trying to eat the baby geese.
He was trying to eat any geese he could, but he couldn't tackle the geese. So Roy Hill was very, very good. And then in the next set, I hit Cambridge Star. I worked him out real hard today. We went the mile marker in 38, last half in 5 and a bit, 6. Broadway roll set in behind. Pete will love this. Pete, you'll love this. Broadway roll set in behind me for all 3 laps, moved over, and exploded past me. And I forget who James hit, but they couldn't catch up at all. I ended up second. I think James was third. And then, like Broadway roll, it was, Mario said, who is this horse? I said, this is a Roll with Joe filly. The one that was lame at Christmas time? I said, yeah, we crowd her sesamoid. And he said, wow. He said, she is, you're going to make some money with her. He said, she's a really, really nice filly. I said, she does everything right. I don't know. Overall, the only question that needs to be answered by Broadway roll, there's only one. There's only one question to be answered by this filly from here till Christmas time. How fast can you go? And that's it. She does nothing wrong. 0. Put her nose on the gate. You can leave with her. You can sit her in a hole. I've moved her multiple times. You can see she can move all the time. Just how fast can you go? That's it. She's already there. She's figured it all out. There's a number of horses that are there already. She is definitely one of them. And then the last set, I had Mama Knows Best. She was in with Desperado and Well and Down, though. A little outmatched. We come out of the last turn. They took off. Well and Down actually sprinted by Desperado and then got out of gear. And Desperado come back on and beat her. But they were doing some pacing down the lane. I think James has it in for Desperado. If I don't think that's a conspiracy theory. I believe James wants to beat Desperado now because I like him so much. So James busted out with Well and Down, and he was going to go by. Desperado's not as awesome, isn't great on the front, and I told you really got to have his attention when you move him, when you put him in gear. He's a little bit of a cheater sometimes, but not in a bad way. He just takes care of himself. And Well and Down ended up, Desperado come back on a beater. Well and Down was second. Mama Knows Best did good, but I feel as far as sprinting goes, she's a couple of weeks behind. Now, these were pacers, mind you. She had a couple of weeks to get that twitch into her that I think she needs and I think is there. But that'll come. That'll come. She was good today, trotted her mile, great. Followed, moved, sat, did everything I asked her to do. Now it's just a matter of putting some muscle on her, putting some weight on her, and putting her in the right frame of mind. Lots of time to do that because we don't know when we're racing. Obviously, these 2-year-olds, I can't imagine the 2-year-old stake season is going to be impacted in a negative way. I guess we'll wait and see. But for now, it looks like we're going to have a lot of fun in Ohio. In Ontario, we're represented by where we welcome Walk on the Moon, Beef and Cheddar, Blue Monk. I know I'm missing a ton of horses, but these are just horses I'm thinking of right now. Ohio's going to be fun. New York, Pennsylvania. We're well represented. The deepest year and the most well-represented year we've ever had is 2020. So, Ava, what are you doing?
Friend.
I don't care if it's your friend. He's a quarter of a mile away.
No, he's not.
Whitney Houston couldn't get his attention right now. So,
can I get the mail?
No, I'm going to get the mail.
Please.
No, I don't want you guys getting it. Stay right there. Anyway, that was a great training set today. A great schooling sets today. Obviously, we couldn't do them all today. We did 33 today. They're all going out tomorrow. All the rest of the horses that are able to go are going tomorrow. So the gate, our new starting gate, will be out tomorrow at Tamiko. And then it doesn't look like we're going to have a whole lot done on Saturday. I know we want a drone, but high of 3 in the afternoon or something. Chance of snow and rain, negative. I think the next sunny day will be going, which will probably be the Wednesday after that. We won't have the gate out, but I think we'll have drone videos of the gate maybe in the coming weeks. So, a great May, though, whatever it is, 6th, 7th, don't know what day it is, but it's a great day. It was a great training day. We'll be back. Get your fingers out of your mouth.
I don't have them.
Don't put them on your face. We'll be back tomorrow with a bunch more, so I'll give you guys another update again tomorrow. Hope everything's good. Hope your week is going good. Mine definitely got a lot better today. Just an absolutely great day all around training. Take care.